Behaviors that make INFJs relationships more challenging. 1. The idealism trap. One of the first behaviors that can make relationships challenging for INFJs is their idealism. INFJs are idealists by nature. They have a clear vision of what they believe relationships should look like. They often hold themselves and their partners to high, sometimes unattainable standards. While this idealism can inspire them to create beautiful, meaningful connections, it can also set them up for disappointment when reality doesn't match their vision. INFJs might dream of a soulmate who understands them completely, a partner who shares their values, and a relationship that is free of conflict. But as we all know, no relationship is perfect. The gap between their idealistic expectations and the imperfections of real-life relationships can lead to frustration and disillusionment. As an INFJ, it's important to recognize that while it's great to have high standards, no one is perfect, including yourself. Relationships are about growth, learning, and compromise. Embracing the imperfections in your partner and your relationship can lead to a deeper, more authentic connection. 2. The struggle with vulnerability. Another behavior that can complicate relationships for INFJs is their struggle with vulnerability. INFJs are highly introspective and private individuals. They often have rich inner worlds that they guard closely. While they are excellent listeners and often serve as a confidant for others, they can find it difficult to open up about their own feelings and needs. This hesitation to be vulnerable stems from a fear of being misunderstood or rejected. INFJs crave deep, meaningful connections, but they may hold back parts of themselves to protect their sensitive inner world. This can create a barrier in relationships, making it difficult for their partner to truly understand them. As an INFJ, remember that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. It's okay to share your feelings, fears, and needs with your partner. In fact, being open and honest can strengthen your relationship and bring you closer together. Trust that your partner wants to understand and support you, just as you do for them. 3. The perfectionism dilemma. Perfectionism is another trait that can make relationships challenging for INFJs. They often have a strong desire to create the perfect relationship, which can lead them to place immense pressure on themselves and their partner. This drive for perfection can manifest in many ways, whether it's planning the perfect date, saying the perfect thing, or avoiding conflict at all costs. The downside of this perfectionism is that it can create unrealistic expectations and unnecessary stress. INFJs may find themselves feeling anxious or disappointed when things don't go as planned, or when their partner doesn't meet their high expectations. As an INFJ, it's important to remind yourself that perfection is an illusion. Real relationships are messy, unpredictable, and full of ups and downs. Embrace the imperfections and focus on the love, connection, and growth that come from navigating life's challenges together. 4. The overthinking spiral. Overthinking is a classic behavior of INFJs that can make relationships more challenging. Because they are highly intuitive and perceptive, INFJs are constantly analyzing their thoughts, feelings, and interactions with others. While this introspection can be a strength, it can also lead to overthinking, especially in relationships. INFJs may find themselves second-guessing their partner's words or actions, wondering if they did something wrong, or worrying about the future of the relationship. This overthinking can create unnecessary stress and anxiety, and can even lead to misunderstandings and conflicts that might not have otherwise existed. As an INFJ, it's important to find ways to manage your overthinking. Practice mindfulness, focus on the present moment, and try to communicate openly with your partner rather than assuming the worst. Remember, not everything needs to be analyzed. Sometimes it's okay to just be. 5. The need for alone time. INFJs are introverts, which means they need regular alone time to recharge and process their thoughts and emotions. While this is a healthy and necessary part of being an INFJ, it can sometimes create challenges in relationships, especially if their partner has different needs. The need for alone time can be misunderstood by partners who might feel neglected or rejected when the INFJ retreats into their own space. INFJs might also struggle with balancing their need for solitude with their desire to maintain a close connection with their partner. As an INFJ, it's important to communicate your need for alone time to your partner in a way that reassures them. Explain that your need for solitude isn't about them. It's about taking care of yourself so you can be the best partner possible. And for partners of INFJs, try to understand and respect this need, knowing that it's an essential part of who they are. 6. The conflict aversion. Conflict aversion is another behavior that can make relationships challenging for INFJs. They have a deep desire for harmony and often go to great lengths to avoid conflict. While this can create a peaceful and loving environment, It can also lead to unresolved issues and suppressed emotions. INFJs might avoid bringing up problems or expressing their true feelings because they fear it will lead to conflict or hurt their partner's feelings. However, avoiding conflict can cause more harm in the long run, as it prevents open communication and can lead to resentment or misunderstandings. As an INFJ, it's important to recognize that conflict isn't always a bad thing. In fact, healthy conflict can lead to growth, understanding, and a stronger relationship. Practice addressing issues calmly and constructively, and remember that it's okay to have disagreements. What matters is how you handle them together. 7. The difficulty in asking for help. INFJs are often seen as the caregivers and nurturers in their relationships. They are always there to support and help their partners, but they can find it difficult to ask for help themselves. This behavior stems from their desire to be self-sufficient and their fear of burdening others. However, this reluctance to ask for help can create challenges in relationships. Partners might feel shut out or unable to support the INFJ in the way they would like. The INFJ, meanwhile, might feel isolated or overwhelmed, but still hesitate to reach out. As an INFJ, it's important to remember that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of trust. Your partner wants to be there for you, just as you are for them. Don't be afraid to lean on your partner when you need support. Relationships are a two-way street, and asking for help can actually bring you closer together. 8. The intensity of emotions. INFJs experience emotions deeply and intensely. They are highly empathetic and can easily absorb the emotions of those around them. While this emotional depth allows them to connect deeply with their partner, it can also create challenges in relationships. INFJs might feel overwhelmed by their own emotions or by the emotions of their partner. They might also struggle to express these intense feelings in a way that their partner can understand. This emotional intensity can lead to misunderstandings, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. As an INFJ, it's important to find healthy outlets for your emotions. Journaling, creative expression, or talking to a trusted friend or therapist can help you process your feelings. And in your relationship, try to communicate your emotions as clearly and calmly as possible. Remember, your partner wants to understand and support you, but they can't do that if they don't know what you're feeling. 9. The challenge of letting go. This is another one of behaviors that can make relationships challenging for INFJs is their difficulty in letting go. INFJs form deep, meaningful connections, and they often hold on to memories, feelings, and even relationships long after they have ended. This can create challenges in new relationships, as the INFJ might compare their current partner to past relationships or struggle to fully move on from previous emotional attachments. This difficulty in letting go can also make it hard for the INFJ to forgive and forget when conflicts arise in their current relationship. As an INFJ, it's important to practice letting go of the past and focusing on the present. Holding on to past hurts or memories can prevent you from fully experiencing the love and connection that's available to you now. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself to move forward and embrace the present with an open heart. Dear INFJs, remember your depth, empathy, and desire for meaningful connections are gifts that can create beautiful, lasting relationships. By understanding and addressing the behaviors that can make relationships challenging, you can build stronger, more fulfilling connections with your partner. Remember, relationships are a journey, and every challenge is an opportunity for growth, both for you and your partner. Embrace the journey, communicate openly, and allow yourself to be vulnerable and authentic. Your relationships will be richer and more meaningful.